He doesn't know what he just said a few minutes earlier.
I love it. Okay, here comes the media. Kansas City's own.
I mean, honestly, and this is a loaded field, but this, I think, is the worst take of the year. I honestly think across, not just NFL, across all sports.
You think it's the number one seed?
I think this is the number one seed for worst take of the year. The idea, just bring out the damn board. I mean, there's no preamble needed. The idea, and by the way, the preseason bulletin board, if you remember, Joe Burrow, who I like, built to beat them, he said. All right, we'll see on Sunday. Jamar refused to say Patrick Mahomes' name because he thought he was going to be number one on the list, wasn't even number one on the list. But now we're to the regular season board, and Jamar Chase, front and center where he wants to be, saying the dumbest thing I've heard a football player say in a decade, which is that the team that has won the conference 2 years in a row and 4 of the last 5 and is back-to-back Super Bowl champions is not the team to beat. Instead, the Bengals' last 2 years, oh my God, I just fell off the stage. You saw, why didn't you warn me, Wild? Why didn't you give me a heads up? Why didn't you tell me I was about to plummet off the stage? That they're the team to beat. And can I just say one other thing? Because I've been very complimentary of the Bengals this week. As popular as you've been on Ravens Twitter, I have been cooking in Cincinnati Twitter like that awful Skyline chili you're forced to eat. Exactly. And I'm going to ruin all that right now. Hey, Jamar Chase, I remember the first game you ever played against the Chiefs. You crushed us. Do you remember it? Because you've done nothing since. First game against the Chiefs. Greg, look, first game. 11 for 266, 24 yards to catch, 3 touchdowns. 4 games since, 22 for 267, same yards basically. And by the way, also, I'm not saying Jamar Chase is a system guy. I'm saying, you're not the same guy without T. Higgins. I'm just saying, all of a sudden, you live the number one receiver life without a co-star next to you. You're good. You want $1 more than Justin Jefferson. I'm just saying Justin Jefferson had T. Higgins his whole career. Wow. Just some things to think about. Talking about going through the AFCs through Cincinnati. No, you only stop through Cincinnati if your plane gets rerouted and you're like, oh my God, this is miserable.
Lost all your goodwill.
I don't want it. I don't want it.
We got to stop.
It's Bengals right.
Part of me really, I'm being dead serious. I wonder if, because look, when we talk about the Chiefs and Mahomes, and not just us, but most shows, it's kind of like they're on another plane. Right? It's like who's the biggest threat to them? Who are they going to play in the Super Bowl? It's like, and part of me is kind of hoping that Jamar was thinking, like, who's going to meet the Chiefs? Who's the team
that's not
to
what
beat?
He was saying.
I'm just hoping that's what he meant, because this makes absolutely no sense. That said, there's a small bit of respect I have for that, because I get where he's coming from. Because notice what he said. We got to act like it, right? He's talking them up. He's speaking it into existence. We are the team to beat. We got to act like it, and we got to play like it. So he's saying, look, I'm not bowing to the Chiefs. And I've said this before, but they put their pants on one leg at a time just like we do. Everybody else can bow, not us. And we got to act like it, and we got to play like it. Respect.
I respect it. It's not true. Like, let's be honest. Let's be real. Like, I get it. When you've beaten the team, and you've gone to their place, and you've taken down the Giants.
Years ago.
Nick, it doesn't matter. Name another team that has done it outside of Tom Brady.
But the Chiefs have ended their season 2 years in a row since then.
I get that, but once it's like trying something new. Like, until you've tried it and actually accomplished it and overcame whatever it is you're trying, you feel like, you know what, I'm going to keep trying it until I get it. Once you get it, you feel like the next time you do it, I'm going to get it because I've gotten it before. That's the Bengals as it pertains to the Chiefs. And Jamar Chase just truly believes, because I've whooped up on this team. Like, it's amazing. It's amazing how you view things when you've had success.
I get that.
And the game that you're pointing to that was years ago is how he feels like he can do the Chiefs every time he plays.
I get that. Can I just ask you a quick question before we move on?
Fellow Chiefs fan?
Just as the leader of the show.
Oh, sure. We're a lot of hats.
What he said at the end, though, I think he was it's like he had forgotten what he said before. But what he said at the end, I think he was trying to be sincere. Like, I know better than to talk mess in the media like we have in the past, and it has bitten us.
But he had already done it.
Yeah. Like, that's the thing. Do the Bengals not understand that the Chiefs are acutely, like, we do the bulletin board bit, but it's not out of nowhere. It's for a reason. It's because when they beat the Bengals in the AFC Championship game, Mahomes at the podium is talking about the mayor of Cincinnati, and Travis Kelce is yelling at him. Like, this is a long-standing thing of extra motivation.
We thought that on the NFL 100 that you blew past, but remember he wouldn't say Mahomes' name?
Yeah.
I thought that was a don't add any fuel to the fire.
Well, that didn't hold.
No, it didn't hold through the rest of his little press conference.
No,
it didn't. That didn't work. On the other side of the ball, Chiefs come into this game with extra rest, a perfect record, and something to prove, maybe? Mahomes' career record, including the playoffs, versus Burrow, 1-3 versus everybody else, 89-22. He's got a winning record against every other QB he's faced 4 or more times. Brew, do you think Patrick has something to prove?
Well, it sounds silly because really the only thing he has to prove is can he dominate the league for another 10 to 12 years, and can he pass Tom Brady as the GOAT? That's really what he has left to prove. However, in the micro, it's just like, let me wipe the board clean right now. If the best quarterbacks in the league are in the room, Mahomes, Lamar, Josh, Burrow, Jalen Hurts, Dak Prescott, Purdy. I said it. Yeah. If they're all in the room and Mahomes is talking, I own all of y'all. There's one guy that can say something. Now, he can't pull a trump card on Mahomes, but he can say something like, hold up, I beat you when it counted in the AFC title game. In fact, I've beaten you 3 out of 4 times. He's the only guy that could say anything, that could do anything but be like, and that's Joe Burrow. And so, if Mahomes wipes him out in this game, he still won that AFC title game, but we're getting further and further away from a Burrow win over Mahomes. So, he can kind of wipe the slate clean a little bit.
Yeah, Wiles, we did a segment a couple days ago, Must Win. You remember that?
Oh, yeah. It was one of my favorite segments.
Exactly. And I said this was a must-win for the Chiefs. This is exactly how Patrick Mahomes is approaching it. It's a must-win. It's a must-win because he understands the tone that they're trying to set for the year. He is not going to, as being the alpha and the leader in that locker room and on that field with that team, understanding what they're trying to accomplish every single week, we got to set the tone. And it starts with me. And if I say something that my team feels like they can lollygag into the game and we're just going to win because we're the Chiefs.
Oh, that's interesting.
No, I'm not leading them the right way. And so he understands this is a team that has had our number over the course of the times we've played them.
Okay, but so that's where I'm going to jump in. Because this is what Patrick Mahomes has done since he last lost a football game to Joe Burrow. Can we show it to you? Because it's a Hall of Fame career. Since he last lost to Joe Burrow, he's won 2 Super Bowls, won an MVP. Also, they've ended the Bengals season twice since he last lost to Joe Burrow. And so here's the only thing he has to prove. He has nothing to prove, but what he can accomplish. He can end what was the dumbest sports phrase of the last few years, Burrowhead Stadium. Let me ask just to the audience, because I know you guys know it. How many times has Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals won at Arrowhead Stadium? The answer is once ever. It'd be like calling it Aiden O'Connell head or Jared Goff head. They all won one time in the stadium.
In the middle.
I understand that it doesn't quite roll off the tongue, but it's ludicrous. It never made any sense.